Think going to Disney all the time means we've got our packing list ingrained in our brains? Wrong. There are a lot of things even the pros forget to bring. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. Packing for Disney World is no small feat, especially when you're packing for the whole family and trying not to forget a single thing, and you're probably doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning when you have to catch a flight at 5. Now, while you can definitely purchase most necessities in and around Disney World, there are a few things that often get forgotten, and it's a huge hassle if you have to go get them. Here are 13 things even the pros forget to bring to Disney World. By the way, we mined all of our Disney Food Blog staff writers and reporters and managers. All of these people contributed to this list. These are all things we have forgotten ourselves going to Walt Disney World. So hopefully this will help you guys as you're packing and planning. Number 1, clothes for all weather. Now, we talk about how downright crazy and almost always unpredictable the weather is in Central Florida. Unless you live in the Southeast, you're probably going to be a bit unprepared for the weather changes. So in a week-long trip, you could go through clothes from all 4 seasons, and that's just Florida weather. That's how it is. Top offenders on the too often forgotten list: rain gear and cold weather clothes. To say it rains in Florida is a huge understatement. Even during drier seasons, you can expect rain pretty frequently, and when it comes in downpours. Remember a rain jacket or umbrella if you're not a poncho person. Ponchos and umbrellas are sold in the parks. They typically put them out on the counter once it starts raining, but they are going to be expensive, like $10 for a poncho that you could have gotten for 99 cents ahead of your trip. And I think I've spent $17 on those little umbrellas that break like immediately after you use them for the first time, so don't do it. Try to bring rain gear that packs down small so it doesn't take up too much space in your park bag. Then you won't be tempted to leave it out and be surprised by a pop-up storm. Also, make sure you bring sleeves and layers. This is true even in the summer months. The AC on the buses and inside restaurants can be intense, and the evenings can still get cool throughout most of the year. The biggest shock is that Florida does get cold in the winter months. Sure, you may get days in the 70s and 80s, but you might also get some days and nights in the 40s or even 30s, and that will happen like right next to each other. You'll have an 80-degree day and then a 30-degree day the next day. It might not be as cold as in other parts of the country in January, but that humid cold is a whole other level of chilly. So check the weather and maybe throw in a hat if you're going to be there in the winter. Also, that scarf. I keep talking about my scarf. Next one, glasses and contacts. Sometimes you're running to catch a flight, you put your contacts in that morning and forget to put the glasses into your bag. I actually got a backup pair of prescription glasses that I could keep packed all the time after I forgot my glasses so many times that I had to basically go through all of my backup contacts on a recent vacation. So maybe you have your glasses on and leave your contacts out of the bag. Maybe you're a pair or two short on contacts if you wear dailies. In any case, it's going to be pretty hard to get a new pair of glasses or a set of contacts while you're on vacation. You can always do overnight shipping to your hotel, but this is probably one you're going to want to triple check before you leave home. That's a hassle to have to figure out how to be able to see while you're on vacation. Also, consider tossing in a backup set of sunglasses. Florida is the sunshine state, and I can't tell you how many times I have left my sunglasses on a ride, or I have broken them in transit, getting off the plane, driving to Disney World. Luckily, I don't have super expensive sunglasses, so I usually bring a backup pair, but you may bring less expensive ones, or definitely bring a backup pair in case something goes awry. All right, let's talk about that gum. I'm sorry, I have to say it every time. It's important to some people, and I don't want anyone to not know that they can't get gum in Disney World. You aren't going to find it anywhere in Disney World or at MCO at the Orlando airport. Gum isn't sold in the parks because they need to cut down on chewed gum being stuck all over the place. It takes a long time to clean. So if you know you're going to want gum on your trip, be sure to pack it in your bag or plan on hitting up a convenience store near Disney. Next one, brush or comb. Another thing you use in the morning that you leave and don't think to throw it into your bag when you're running to catch a flight. With all that running around the park, hitting the pools, not to mention roller coasters that are going to totally make a mess of your hair, you don't want to forget a comb. Making a morning checklist might be helpful so you don't miss those last few things that need to get tossed into your bag. And don't forget your toothbrush either, although Disney will usually have toothbrushes at the front desk if you need one. But a little story about my brush. I went to Disney. I actually had an event that I had to go to. It was a pretty big deal, and I forgot a brush. And so I had to search around Disney Springs and the hotel gift shop for a brush, and all I found was a little tiny kind of little kid's brush. It was really pathetic to see how I was trying to brush and comb my hair with this horrible thing. So bring a brush. Just bring one. Just bring one. Have one packed. Have one in your suitcase just all the time. It just sits there. It's just in your suitcase. All right, dry shampoo. Dry shampoo at Disney World is your best friend. A lot of the DFB teams swear by dry shampoo, especially in the summer months when just a couple hours into the parks can make you look like you've been running 3 consecutive marathons. Even if you're a wash your hair every day type of person, dry shampoo is a great pick-me-up. And if you're in Disney World during super hot August, you might find yourself showering more than once a day. Consider bringing a shower cap so you don't get your hair wet. They're not available in the rooms anymore. Also, pack waterproof makeup and extra hair ties to beat park sweat and roller coaster hair. We're just trying to keep you looking your best. Now, this is another one of mine, bath supplies. If you've got kiddos who love bath time, don't forget to pack all that bath stuff. Pack shampoo or soap if you don't want to use the hotel stuff. Remember that they come in refillable containers attached to the shower wall now in a lot of the hotels, so you don't always get your own minis anymore. Deluxe resorts do often still supply some extra non-attached amenities though. And don't forget a cup for the bath to wash hair and bring some bath toys along as well. Although if you forget or don't bring bath toys, the hotel toiletries usually float and can be impromptu boats. I have definitely used these multiple times. Also, always bring a body poof if you don't like to use washcloths in the shower. This one always slips my mind, but now I have a body poof along with my brush and my extra glasses that just live in my suitcase all the time. And a quick note about bringing a cup to wash hair. I have multiple times had to use coffee mugs to wash my kids' hair. Now, you guys might be cool with just getting a washcloth wet and just like using that as a water thing. Anyway, I know I'm spending too much time on this, but details, people. Next thing, it's often forgotten, enough clothes. We're all guilty of forgetting something super important. The DFB team had multiple reports of forgotten underwear when we were putting together this video. I personally have gone on a trip and forgotten to bring underwear, which was horrible. And this proves that even the pros will forget even the most obvious things, and that is why packing lists and checklists are a must for each and every trip. Remember that all Disney hotels do have self-serve laundry rooms in case you underpacked on purpose or not, and Disney does sell underpants, by the way. But packing a Tide pen and small sewing kit with needle, thread, and safety pins can help you avoid wardrobe malfunctions and doing laundry on vacation. And another quick tip, speaking of checklists, I actually have a checklist on the Notes app on my phone, and in case you haven't realized it yet, you can actually make it into a checklist. You just highlight everything and you click the little check circle at the bottom. You can make it into a checklist, and then you can uncheck all that stuff when you go on your next trip and check it all when you're packing. I hope that helps. Maybe it'll help somebody. All right, sunscreen. All too often, this is left out of your toiletry bag. You can purchase sunscreen around the parks and in your resort gift shop. And truth be told, the prices on sunscreen aren't outrageous at Disney World. It's about $15. So avoiding sunburn is kind of priceless when you know you won't get a break from the sun for your entire trip. If you've got little ones, try bringing some sunscreen powder. It works really well, and it's the easiest thing ever to put on a baby, head and all, and they're not sticky and gummy all day. Next up, allergy meds and other OTC meds you might not need at home. Spring may not have sprung where you live, but flowers are around Disney World year-round, which means you might have allergies well before you were expecting them. Or there could be some plants you just don't have at home. Allergy meds and eye drops are a great thing to pack just in case. And while you're putting together a med bag, toss in a few other OTC meds you might not use all the time at home, like antacids or Tylenol, Advil, Rolaids, who knows, just in case someone gets an upset stomach or you're just really sore from walking the parks all day. A lot of those do have chewable versions. I think I've used the Pepto-Bismol chewables quite a bit. And if you're concerned about motion sickness on rides, there are quite a few that can cause it even if you don't normally get it. Bring some Bonine or some Dramamine. Also consider tossing in an ACE bandage or KT tape. You're likely going to be walking close to 10 miles or more per day, which isn't something most of us are doing on a regular basis. And if you accidentally brought the wrong shoes, you can find some aches and pains that you weren't expecting. Some of those OTC meds are available at your hotel room, remember, in your gift shop, but if you like a specific brand or you want to save some cash, plan to pack it or hit a CVS or Walgreens just off property. You can always get a ride share to the store or order supplies from a grocery or pharmacy delivery service, so you'll have the extra expenses of fees and tip on all those options. They're still available in a pinch. Next one, extra batteries, chargers, and power strips, portable fans, cameras, anything else you may need batteries for, make sure to pack extras. By the way, don't forget your portable fans. That is a lifesaver in the summer. Or pick up some rechargeable batteries, just don't forget that charger. Most hotel rooms nowadays have plenty of outlets, including USB outlets, so you shouldn't have too much trouble finding a place to charge your devices. But if you're traveling in a larger group or staying in a room that hasn't been renovated quite as recently, you might want to take a power strip or two to make sure you have enough plugs. All right, number 11 here, backup shoes. We're all about those new shoes for vacation, but you might want to pack a pair of tried and true shoes that are nice and broken in along with those cute new ones. You're going to be on your feet a lot, and those new shoes will probably end up giving you blisters, and you want to put your feet into something a bit more comfortable. If you do get blisters, pick up some moleskin. They sell it in Disney hotel shops, and it seriously helps. Also, don't forget a pair of flip-flops for the pool. There's nothing worse than wearing a wet bathing suit and sneakers. Well, there totally is, but flip-flops won't take up much room in your bag, and you can avoid that unpleasant feeling. Also, along those lines, a bathing suit cover-up. Oh, and something else I want to mention with backup shoes. I've mentioned this before on the channel, but it comes in really handy. If I find a good pair of shoes that I love wearing around the parks, I will usually buy 2 pairs of them. That way, if I get a pair super wet because there was a freak rainstorm, or I rode a water ride or something like that, and they're not drying as quickly as they want them to, I can always head back to the hotel, get rid of those, and put on the other pair. So backup shoes in the form of comfortable shoes if you're wearing non-comfortable shoes regularly, and then also double the pairs of the really comfortable shoes. Next up, your Magical Express bag tags. This one is pretty important because you only get 1 set of bag tags, and if you leave it at home, you're out of luck. If you're flying into MCO and taking advantage of Disney's free bus to the resort, you can have your checked bags picked up from the airport and dropped at the resort without having to deal with them. You just need to attach the yellow luggage tags that will get sent to your house ahead of your trip. But I can say from experience, even if you forget to put those tags on your suitcases, your luggage won't be lost. You can still just bring your own bags and take them to the bus yourself. Sometimes this is a better option actually, because then you have your stuff with you when you need it. Often luggage delivery can take 3 to 5 hours or sometimes longer, and if you didn't pack everything you need for the day in your carry-on, that can be kind of a hassle. So if you have an amount of luggage that you can manage yourself, it may make more sense not to have Magical Express take it for you. Speaking of magic, let's talk about those MagicBands. Whether you take advantage of luggage delivery or not, you definitely want to keep those MagicBands in your carry-on. MagicBands link together your tickets, fast passes, dining reservations, and you can use them to charge purchases to your room, and they even work as your room key. We got a whole video all about MagicBands if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, but moral of the story, don't forget them. If you've used online check-in, you'll be able to bypass the front desk and head straight to your room to open that door with your MagicBand. Now, if you did forget your band, you can still open your door with the My Disney Experience app. You'll just tap your phone to the lock once you pull up the open hotel door screen. Otherwise, you can pick up a new band at your hotel's front desk if you did forget it. You may only get a gray one, and it definitely won't have your name on the back, but sometimes they do have colored bands available, so it's always worth asking. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that our team has forgotten, some of us multiple times, and we wanted to share those things with you. Even the pros forget to bring these must-brings to Disney World. So thank you guys for listening. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got tons of great new content lined up for you that we can't wait to share. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon. Happy packing!